Hello, I am back again with another video, and this time it is a bright and sunny day, which just makes me so happy. I'm making a video because I had ordered some ink after a little bit of a stressful time, and now I'm basically going to swatch that ink because obviously I can't help myself. I need to try it, and you're already seeing some of it. So the way I swatch inks is that I have begun swatching them in this little book. I also have those coloring cards, but I haven't used them that much, so I swatched them in these little Midori MD A6 notebook with their grid lines. As you can see, I've swatched quite a few, and yeah, I just put these out. So I ordered a lot of jar of or however you say it. Inks. It's a brand I really enjoy. I feel like their standard lines, they get overlooked a little bit, maybe because they're boring. They are a very old company. They've been around since 1670 according to their bottle. According to their bottles, like the labels on their bottles. They even came out with an anniversary ink set or anniversary inks, but they're like huge. So I thought I would use this stamp I have. So I have these stamps that I got from Etsy. And it's various fountain pen ink bottles. So some of them that's like Edelstein, Iroshizuku. And here's two Jarbang bottles. Here's the special ones, you know, the ones for the shimmer inks. And then there's the normal D bottle, which has a pen rest. And I thought I'd use the D bottle since I got a lot of their inks. So yeah, and for stamping, I just use an acrylic holder, and I use these Tsukiniku Versa Magic dewdrops, like stamps, and it's because these actually work on paper, like fountain pen paper. They don't bleed through, and the end I was using a different one, and it's like it bled a lot, so I ended up getting this, and that's because this is a chalk ink. And it just works way better on paper because it doesn't have any oil, it doesn't bleed through the paper instantly. So if you want to do stamping and use fountain pens, I would recommend you get this kind of ink pad, the Tsukiniku Versa Magic. But they do give like a soft effect. So I have stamped them out here, and now let's just look at the inks I've got. So like I said, I got a lot of Jarbang inks. So the first one, I decided to get a 30ml bottle of this ink, which is one of the newer inks actually in their standard line. If I can get it out, there you go. This is their bleu calanque or something. I think it's like a blue lagoon. It's like some kind of natural landscape in France, I think, but it's basically like a minty turquoise kind of shade. And I was like, yeah, you know, I'll probably use that shade. So I decided to get a 30ml bottle of it. A lot of people don't enjoy these Jarbang bottles because they're a little bit dumb. They're like short and squat, and they have this pen rest for putting like a glass dependent. I'm trying to do it, but this is Jarbang, so it doesn't even fit very well on it. But most people, I imagine, are using fountain pen inks with a pen, so most pens don't fit on there, so it's a bit, and because they're so short, it makes it difficult to pick up ink from them and so on. A lot of people have issues with these bottles, but I do actually kind of like how they look. Like, I think they're very cute. I love the labels. So yeah, so I got this ink. Then I got all these little 10 milliliter, sorry, ink bottles that they do, and it's kind of, I think it's a nice way to try out an ink without necessarily getting a sample. God, I have so many samples. So I got 4 of these. I got Vert Empire or Vert Empire. I don't know, French is weird. Which should be kind of like an olivey green. I've seen it a few times on our fountain pens on Reddit, and it always seemed like a pretty interesting color, so I thought I'd get it. Then I got Bouquet Dantan, I think, which is, it means like bouquet of yesteryear or something like that, and it's a very beautiful kind of muted rose shade. I actually wanted a 30 milliliter bottle of this, but they were sold out. Figures, right? So I got this one instead. Then I got this coral color, which I'm not even coral de tropiques. I don't know. Which is also part of their newer inks. So Herbin, they released, like, I think it was 5 new inks or 6, and these two are part of those. And then the last one I got was this larmes de cassis, I think, or something like that, which is supposed to be like a berry shade. It looks very interesting. It's a color I don't think I own in any other ink. So I was like, you know, let's try it out. I got these, and then I got some samples. So I got a sample of Robert Oster Cosmic Swirl, which I saw on Mountain of Ink, and I was just like, yeah, I need that. I have a thing for lighter purple shades, I can't help it. Then I got some Sailor Ink Studio, so I got 160 and I got 173. So these are part of like kind of like the pastel shades. And I actually already have 167. So let's see how it looks compared to this one, maybe. That could be interesting. So when I do these swatches, I first go in with a Q-tip, and then next I write the name next to them with a dip pen. So I'm just gonna go in with the Q-tip. I'll probably speed it up. So those are all of the inks that I got, and as you can see, there's kind of like a nice variety of colors. There's maybe a few more warm colors. I also feel like, you know, soon it'll be summer. So the bleu calanque, I think it looks really beautiful. It reminds me a little bit of Diamond Soft Mint, which I must have swatched somewhere. Yes. if I remember correctly. Diamine Soft Mint, which I have right here. It reminds me a little bit of that, but deeper. Then the Empire or Empire or whatever, I think it's very surprising. It's a very surprising kind of muted, a little bit olivey green. The closest thing I have to it is this one, which is Tono and Lem's Fukushima Unshaken Conviction, which is kind of similar to the Empire, but I can't really, those Tono and Lem's inks, they're not as easily available in Europe, so it might be a good option if you really like that shade. Then we have this shade, which is just so beautiful. I think it's fairly unique for being like a pink. I think it's very beautiful. It's beautiful shading. Now with a glass tip pen, it doesn't really show off shading of inks very well, but as you can see here, it can be very dark or it can be kind of light. And I've used it before where I know it was shading. It's a very beautiful ink. Then we have this one up here, which is kind of berry color, and I think it looks really beautiful actually. It's not the most vibrant shade, but I don't think that really matters so much. It's just a very nice shade. I can imagine using it in this like season because it reminds me of flowers and berries and those kind of things. It probably shades too. And then we have the coral color, and this one I just think is so pretty. It's kind of pinky coral. It doesn't have too much orange. I feel like those orangey corals, they're kind of weird in a way. Like whenever I see diamine coral, my mind gets confused. But I think it's very beautiful. I'm not sure if it would really shade that much, but it looks like a really cool color. Then we have the Sailor Ink Studio 173. This one's so beautiful. You can already see that kind of dual shading these lighter sailors are known for. This one should kind of, it's like a pale orange, like a pastel orange, but it should shade to kind of more pink, which I feel like is actually happening in what I wrote with the dip pen. It's very beautiful. Then I have the second page, and this one, as you saw when I was watching the Robert Oster Cosmic Swirl, it went down pretty deep, but then it lightened into this more like pastel-y, really vibrant purple, and I really like that. I'm very excited to use this one, but I'm also just a huge fan of these things. And then we have the last one, which is the Sailor Ink Studio 160, and this reminds me a bit of like, I don't know, apples. Like it makes me think of Diamine Apple Glory. It's kind of in that minty ballroom, but it doesn't really have much blue in it, I want to say. I also had Sailor 167, which is definitely much more yellow compared to this one, which is more blue. I think those two colors go very well together, and this is a pretty unique color too. So all in all, I'm very happy with this whole like, I feel like all of the colors speak to me in some way. I think they'll be very useful. And the nice thing about the Herbin 10 milliliter ink bottles is that it's nice way of trying it, and then if you use it up and you're like, oh, I really love this color, you know, you can go look for a dupe if you want to do that, or you could just buy the real, you know, the 30 ml bottle. Herbin even has 100 milliliter bottles of some of their inks, I believe. I think it's 100 ml, like very big. But it's only some of the standard inks, so I don't know if any of these come in that. Plus, they have their anniversary inks, which come in like a set of 5, I think, where they're all small bottles, or you can buy them as 500 milliliters each, which is an absolutely huge amount of ink. So I think this is really nice. And that's been it. Hey, hey.